Hey, Fletch, thanks for taking the time today. Let's get
Hey.
started with Kristen and then Bo.
Hey Fletch, hope you're doing well. Here finally in week one, getting ready for the season opener. Curious if it feels real to you finally being here through such an unprecedented off season and training camp, and can you appreciate the sense of normalcy that having football back on Sunday will bring not only to you guys but to the fans as well?
Yeah, to me, around here, it actually really feels like game week. You can feel the intensity kind of cranking up around the building, the intensity from Doug, from all the other coaches, from the players. You could feel it in practice today. Guys was flying around, and it really feels like game week around here. And everybody kind of turning up a notch and know what time it is. But everybody's enjoying it, and just getting ready for it.
Let's go Bo and then Rob Motti.
Hey Fletch, the Eagles announced the captains today. Can you tell us how that message was delivered by Doug, and what do you make of all those guys being 8 captains is a lot of guys.
Well, I think it's a thing that the league has doing this year, being that only one guy can go on the field. I think for the coin toss, but Doug, he's the guy. He makes decisions, and I'm really I congratulated every guy that was named the captain. No matter if they're first time, second time, third time, it don't really matter. But to me, that means a lot. For the coaches and the players and whoever decision that was to make that and to name myself a captain and the 7 other guys. You can't do nothing but respect that and know that you really got a lot of respect from the coaches and the players and everybody upstairs. So it means a lot to be named the captain.
Let's go Rob and then Martin.
Hey, Fletch, have you personally decided how you want to approach Sunday as far as whether or not you want to take a knee, do any kind of protest? And do you sense that more players feel comfortable now that the NFL has come out and essentially apologized to Colin Kaepernick for ignoring and not listening to the message? Do you guys feel more comfortable that there wouldn't be as much backlash if you were to do anything on Sundays?
Well, right now we're doing everything as a team. I think whatever decision we make as a team, that's what we're all going to do. Because at the end of the day, we're one team. We all got to go out at the end of the day and fight with each other. We got to go play football. But we're all a unity. We all talk about that. We're one team, and whatever we decide to do as a team, obviously I'm rolling with it.
Let's go Martin and then Zach Berman.
Hey Fletch, you guys obviously made some changes on defense, with bringing in Darius, Nikel, Roby Coleman, Javon, who you haven't seen yet, obviously practice. But what do you think about the defense overall? I mean, yourself included, and what your expectations are for this season.
The expectations, for this defense is, obviously, I look at it as if this defense is we drive the team. We're the engine of the team. I look at it that way. But bringing those, all pro corner in and bringing, Big J in, Big Hargrave in, man, is Roby. Those guys, they've played a lot of football and they know what it takes to win. They've been around the league for a while, and we'll be really good when we get Jay back. But right now we're just rolling with what we got. We got a really good rotation. Guys are flying around, and to me right now the communication. Everybody's communicating. Everybody getting along. Everybody flying around and having fun. So I'm really excited to see everybody go out on Sunday and perform.
Let's go Zach and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Fletcher, it's been 8 years since you've been around Darius Slay every day. How is he different than he was back then? What has this past month been like being around Darius?
Well, it's Darius is Darius. To those that know Darius, those that know Slay, he's just Slay. What you see is what you get from him. He's his own guy. He's going to be, a great teammate. He's going to lead. He did those things in college, and you expect. I expect those things from him to be, playing with him. I played with him 1 year in college, but he was just himself. He's going to practice hard, and it obviously carried over to games on game day. But with Darius, man, just being around him every day is funny. I walk in the locker room every morning, and kind of slap him on the back of the head. And, he's my guy. We went to college together. So it's just that thing, that bond that from college to now, nothing ever changed.
And a quick follow-up, what do you call him? Because he said he does not like to be called Darius.
No, his name's not Darius. He don't like Darius. Everybody call him Slay or Big Play. I just call him Slay. So I just roll with that. I call him that in college. And, again, that just continues to roll on right now.
Let's go Jeff McLean and then Ed.
Hey, Fletch, we saw the last 2 years with injuries in the interior, how that affected you. You saw a lot of double teams. Almost every play, it seemed like after Malik went out last year. And now Javon, it looks like he's probably not going to be a start for this Sunday. And Derek Barnett, we don't know about him. How do you approach that mentally, knowing that maybe you're not going to have all the guys that you Eagles had kind of invested in this offseason to really kind of help free you up?
I mean, the biggest thing is knowing that I've been through it before, knowing I just got to go out and fight. But, up front and inside, I feel like we got a really good rotation. I think Hassan Ridgeway's had probably his best training camp. He's took so many steps forward right now, man, with the way he's attacked the offseason, the way he's came into training camp and attacked training camp. He's made those strides to better himself. And then you get Malik back. Malik is in the rotation. Whoever that fourth guy is rolling in right now. But we have a really good rotation, and, everybody's just – I feel like every guy in that room got something to prove, including myself. But everybody's doing a great job, and I'm excited for it.
Let's go Ed and then Dave Zangaro.
Hey, Fletch. You guys are 6-0, I think, in the last 3 years over Washington, but they've changed coaches, added some new personnel. Who stands out to you on tape with them, with their weapons? Antonio Gibson, I think, is a new name there. And Dwayne Haskins. How have you seen his development from last year to this year?
Well, it's funny that you ask it. Well, we didn't have a preseason, so we can't tell how those guys progress. We don't have a lot of things to watch on them. So I think the biggest thing will come down to us just being us. Us playing assignment football and doing what we need to do to stop them. So we don't have anything to go off of. They got a new coaching staff. So we don't know what to expect, but it's going to come down to the same thing if we did know them. It's going to come down to us doing our job, 11 guys getting to the football, playing assignment football, and just attacking every play.
Let's go Dave and then John Clark.
Hey, Fletch, just a minute ago you said you feel like you have something to prove. At this point in your career, what do you have to prove? I mean, you've been kind of a perennial Pro Bowl player, made a lot of money, first-round pick. What's left?
I mean, I'm never satisfied, and obviously I had a down year last year, I would say, coming off of an injury and fighting through it all season, and now I'm 100% healthy and I'm ready to roll. So I'm excited about it. I'm ready to go out there, knowing that going into this first game that I've actually been through a training camp. Vice versa. Last year I didn't go through training camp. I was in there that first week, but I've been through training camp now, and I feel like I'm ready to roll.
If I can follow up real quickly, how much different physically do you feel this point this year as opposed to this point last year?
I mean, I feel good. I got a chance to go out and bang around a little bit. In training camp, got to hit with the pads on. It's really a difference. And like I said, instead of just going into that game week with only a couple of days and then going to game speed, but now it's training camp. It kind of carries over to the game. So I'm ready to roll.
Let's go John and Mike K.
Fletcher, you just talked about coming off an injury last year and how it affected you. Malik Jackson is coming off having an injury very early in the season last year and really didn't get to show everybody what he can do. How much do you think he has, that chip on his shoulder to kind of show everybody in Philly what he's got?
Well, I think, the biggest thing is me and Malik talked. He had a foot injury, I had a foot injury, and, he asked me what's the biggest thing that affected me. I said, the biggest thing, Malik, is you have to trust it. I told him that he was a lot further ahead than I was, being, surgery-wise, whatever happened. I said, you're a lot further ahead than I was. But I told him he just got to trust it, trust it. And you can tell him he looked like Malik out there. He's flying around, he's making cuts, running to the football, being physical. So, just like I said, just go in the game and you trust it and, know it's one step at a time. So I'm excited, actually really excited to see him go on Sunday too.
We have time for a few more, so let's go Mike, John McMullen, and then Jeff Skaversky.
Hey, Fletcher, you brought up the rotation inside and outside. I was just wondering what you saw from Josh Sweat this summer and how much do you think he's progressed kind of over the last 3 years?
I brought up the rotation inside. I'm joking.
Let me, if you don't want to answer that question, let me ask you this.
No, I think everybody came in, man. Everybody came in ready to roll. Josh, again, he's made another step forward. He's a year older, and he understands the game. He understands what's going on, how, he understanding blocks, understanding what to expect from the coach. Honestly, he's just watching how BG practice. And, I tell all those young guys, man, take one guy and watch how he practices, and then you realize how long he's been in the league, and you try to figure out why he's been in the league so long. Well, it just goes back to those things, just watching the guys in front of you. And Josh, he's been doing a really good job. I think Josh, he's going to help us a lot this year.
Hey, Fletch. Sunday, there's not going to be any fans there. When you're at the link and you had that open practice, got kind of a feel for that piped-in noise, how do you think it's going to work? Is guys like BG you just mentioned, he's a big energy guy. How do you keep that energy up?
We just got to feed off our own energy. We got to bring our own energy. You know, we got to support each other. We got to go out and have fun and run around. And I feel like the team that comes out with the most energy, the team that come out and make the most plays, obviously will win the game. But you know, I feel like we got to come out and create our own energy. You know, it's just one of them things we got to get used to. We got to adjust. And so far, I feel like this team is doing a really good job at adjusting to, you know, the things that we're not used to doing.
We'll end it here with Jeff.
Hey, Fletch, kind of feeding off that, will you do anything differently in these games? Have you thought about that? Have you put a lot of thought into that, about how not only coming out with energy, but able to maintain that energy when usually you're feeding off fans?
Well, I think, you know, you feed off the crowd, but now I look at it and I tell those guys, hey, man, we have to feed off each other. And, you know, in reality, it's the truth. We got to feed off each other. And then for me, I'm not doing anything different. I'm just go out and do whatever I do pregame to warm up, go back in, get dressed, come out, and get ready to attack the game.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time today, Fletch.
See you.